Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster, and this is Ask Lukenessmonster episode 89, the series on the channel where I answer your guys' questions from the comments down below. So if you guys do want your questions answered in the next episode, make sure to comment down below on this week's episode, and I'll try my very best to answer it. Jumping into the first comment, we actually have a comment from SideQuester, and he says, yo! And basically, SideQuester is actually a channel member, and channel members do get priority, answers to comments during Ask Lukenessmonster. So if you do want to guarantee your question will get answered, make sure to go down and consider hitting that join button. It's 99 cents a month, and you do get access to a lot of these cool emojis that are exclusive to the Lukenessmonster channel, as well as these super cool Clone Trooper name badges, which actually get cooler the longer you're a member. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, consider going down and hitting that join button down below. And let's go ahead and jump into the first real question. The first real question says, would you support accessory pack, like blasters, sabers, clone gear like backpacks, etc.? Also, what are the chances for a Rancor Battalion getting a release? So, as far as your first question goes, I would absolutely love an accessory pack, but I'd love it to be kind of like specific to different eras. So, I guess, for example, I'd love maybe like a Jedi accessory pack, which comes with different lightsabers or cloaks or different force hands. That'd be a really great accessory pack. Or you could do a clone accessory pack, which comes with like blasters, backpack, miniguns, thermal detonators, etc. But you could essentially do this for pretty much any type of battalion. You could do like a Endor Rebel Trooper accessory pack, and it comes with more custom ability pieces for your Endor Rebel Trooper. And really, the possibilities for this is endless, and I would absolutely support this. I think you could charge between $15 and $20 for an accessory pack, which seems a little bit high, but I would be very, very willing to pay that price. The next question says, in your opinion, why do you think Hasbro hasn't made any figures marketed towards Revenge of the Sith yet? We have Galaxy packaging for every movie except for Revenge of the Sith. Let's hope they at least do something for its 20th anniversary. So, I've heard a few rumors going around, and I don't know if these are true, so take it with a grain of salt, but from what I've heard is that the design team at Hasbro has pitched a ton of different prequel stuff, and then a lot of the higher-ups at Hasbro has just kind of turned it down, thinking that a lot of prequel stuff won't sell very well. And like I said, I don't know how true this is. It's just some rumors that have been going around, but I could see that as a possibility, and that's kind of why they haven't. I do think that Revenge of the Sith is the most popular prequel, though, and so considering they've already done like Jar Jar from Phantom Menace, and they've done some Attack the Clones figures, it's kind of strange that they haven't done Revenge of the Sith yet. So who knows, but I would love to see some Revenge of the Sith figures, and I'm thinking maybe like 2025 we'll see the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi with some of that throwback packaging, which would be super cool, but I don't know. At this point, it's kind of up in the air. Your guess is as good as mine. The next question from Straight Outta Gunga, he asks, if Hasbro began selling individual creatures as figure releases, or some type of creature and figure 2-pack, what would you want them to do? That is a great question, and honestly, I'm really surprised Hasbro hasn't done more of this. I believe really the only thing we've gotten 2 separate releases. We've gotten Han on the Tauntaun, which I do own, and it's decent. It's not the best thing. Obviously, it came out in like 2015, so it definitely does not live up to today's standards, but it gets the job done for what it's supposed to be. And then there was also the Stormtrooper on the Dewback, which is an incredible set. I don't own this one, and I would love to. It's quite expensive on the aftermarket, but it's still an incredible set, and I'd love to see them do more of it. I think the real problem with it, though, is that they're just quite expensive for what they're supposed to be, especially nowadays. For like a $25 figure plus a $30 to $50 animal that it's on, they're charging between $75 and $100 for one of these sets, which is a little pricey. It's something that I wish they could do for a little bit cheaper, but realistically, with how much figures cost nowadays, I just don't see it being a realistic possibility for cheap. Now, I'd still love to see him do it. Like, I'd love to get Quill on a blurg or Mando on a blurg. I'd love to get the like rhino thing that they ride in the Geonosian Arena. There's so many different like animal sets that I'd love to see them do. But like I said, it's just price wise, it's definitely not really in the books for Hasbro as of the moment. I'd love to see them experiment with it more, but like I said, I just don't really see it as a possibility, which is a shame because I'd love to see it, but I don't know. Now, we're kind of making a U-turn back to the first question of the day because I completely forgot to answer his second question, but the second question is, what are the chances of us getting a Rancor Battalion in the Black Series? And honestly, I'd like to say pretty good at this point in time. Obviously, we already have the ARC Trooper mold, and we already know that Hasbro loves to do re-releases, so I definitely see this as being in the realm of possibilities, especially considering that the Vintage Collection has now gotten Rancor Battalion, so because of that, I'd like to think that it's in the in the minds of Hasbro for the Black Series. Now, I can't guarantee this, but considering how much Hasbro likes to re-release stuff and how easy repaints these would be, I'd really like to think that they're going to be coming pretty soon. We'll have to wait and see though, but I'd like to think that it's a pretty high chance. We'll have to wait and see. The next question from Rebel Scum, he asks, seeing how Starkiller got a big pack with lots of accessories and 2 Stormtroopers with him, what other characters do you think could get the same treatment? Now, honestly, I'd probably have to say not many, considering that this is a HasCon exclusive. They don't happen very often. These kind of exclusives only happen once or twice a year, and even with these exclusives, they're nowhere near the scale that this Starkiller set was, so this is kind of like a 1 in 1 million occurrence. Now, obviously, that's totally an exaggeration of the odds, but I do think that these aren't very common, and I don't think I could really put a name on any other character that could get this treatment. Now, which character would I want to have this treatment? Literally any single character in the line. I think accessories are awesome, and I'd love to get every single figure in the line with this amount of accessories, but like I said, I don't really know what the chances of us getting another set like this being. I think if the Starkiller set sells really well, they might do more of these, but like I said, it's definitely on a case-by-case basis. The next question says, which characters/units from the old Battlefront 2 and new 2017 Battlefront 2 should get a Black Series figure release in your opinion? Great question. I know I've mentioned this a lot, but 2 figures from the original Battlefront 2 that I desperately want is the 501st Jet Trooper. This guy is incredible. Love the design. I'm a big 501st fan, so I love the green visor and everything. I think that one's awesome. As well as the Dark Trooper. I love the design for this as well, and I love how it's actually like a Stormtrooper suit rather than the robot from Mandalorian. Now, don't get me wrong, I love that figure and I love that design, but I do love the original Battlefront 2 design as well. And as far as the new Battlefront 2, I think I would just go with the ARC Trooper outfits. There's a few different versions, like the green one and the blue one, which I think are awesome looking troopers that we haven't gotten yet, and I saw what they could do with the Umbra Operative ARC Trooper, so any version of the ARC Trooper that Hasbro could do in the Gaming Greats line I think would be really cool. The next question says, new subscriber here. What's up, dude? Really awesome to say new subscribers. Absolutely love you guys here. And he says, what do you think about the story from Commander Bao? And do you like his figure from Hasbro? So honestly, I know nothing about Commander Bao. I've seen the original Hasbro figure before, and I never owned it. Obviously, it did come out in the 2005 Revenge of the Sith packaging and everything. Never owned it, and I don't know anything about the character, but I do own the Veal's Toy Store custom version of it, and I do like that. It is, of course, Black Series 6-inch scale and everything, and I do really like that figure. So I mean, I guess I'm a fan of the character, but I don't really know anything about him. And then the last question we have time for today is from Commander Vero, and he does say, if you were the CEO of Hasbro Company and you had to make any Star Wars Black Series, what would you do? Love your videos. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Nice to see the support. And honestly, I would get rid of the Carbonized line and the Credit Collection line, because according to Hasbro, that's kind of their way of doing repaints to fund new molds, and they just kind of peg warm. They don't look good in my opinion. They're just kind of a waste of plastic. And so what I would do is I'd get rid of those sublines, and I would create a army builder line, and this idea does come from Out of the Basement, so make sure to go check out their channel. But essentially some kind of army builder, or what they called it is a Legion line, and essentially it would just be repaints of already existing troopers. So for clone troopers, there's already a clone trooper mold out there, so you're saving money by not having to make a new mold, but there's endless repaints of clone troopers you can do, and so instead you're still funding all of those new figures with your repaints, but the repaints that were screen accurate that people actually want to buy. You can do clone troopers, stormtroopers, battle droids, rebel troopers, anything you can imagine, you can probably do in that line. And like I said, it does the exact same thing that Credit Collection and Carbonized does by just repainting already existing molds. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Again, we had a ton of questions and I couldn't really get around to answering them all, so I do apologize if I didn't get to your question. So make sure to re-comment it again in next week's video if you do really want it answered, or feel free to leave a new one as well. I'm super happy to answer your guys' questions, so keep the comments coming because I absolutely love hearing from you guys and getting to interact with you guys. So if you all did enjoy and you like this series, make sure to go down and hit that like button so you know I want to continue it, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.